Welcome to Price Action Trading with Saul. Right now it's 9:24 a.m. on Tuesday, January 12th, 2021. We're getting all set up here. Saul's going to be joining us shortly. Put up a S&P 500 E-mini chart. Should be able to see a series of 3 charts in a separate chart window. 2 time frames for the S&P 500 E-mini and a 30-year bond chart. Should all be signed up for Saul's monthly. And I'll send out an opportunity to do that at a discount. Hey, Anupam, good morning. Andrea, I just sent you out an opportunity to sign up for Saul's monthly. Why don't you take care of that now? Hey, Island T, I don't know if I sent it out to you. I'll send it out to you too. Don't want you to miss out on Saul's discount. Good morning. Hey, Michael K, welcome back. You should be doing it too. You can come and go as you please. It's nominal. It's $25 a week. So, Mike, I'm going to send it to you in chat. Just right in the chat feature. It's the only link that gives you the discount. That's out to you now. Just let me know if you got it in chat. It's right to PayPal. It's between you and PayPal. You can sign up, you can cancel, you can keep the 100 a month. You got it, Michael. Welcome. Mike, I know you were also interested in Saul's mentoring. So after you sign up and you want to set up a time, we can always talk about Saul's mentoring too in his coursework. Yeah, the first step is to join the family with the, with the monthly, and then we can set up a time to talk privately on the telephone. It's not a problem. I'll look for your sign up this morning, and then I'll authorize you in the background. Andrea R. the same.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Can everybody hear me all right? All right. Fantastic. So market kind of range bound here. You can see from Friday's dominating bar that we were staying in this little range that we've been at. Very, very quiet trade yesterday. See what happens today. Let's give you our levels for this morning. Our pivot this morning is 37.93, 37.93. Resistance at 38 even, 07, 17, 25. Support below at 86, 75, 65, and 58. Pivot 93, support 86, 75, 65, and 58. The resistance at 38 even is 07, 17, and 25. All right, market here, kind of again, like I said, kind of a little range bound here. trying to figure out, what, where, how, when, where's our next move, how much stimulus is going to come out, any political fallout that might happen over the next week or so. Whole bunch of little concerns, but kind of everything is on hold, so to speak. Right, just waiting, see what happens next. That's what the market is. It's kind of trading that way, at least for the time being. Little concern here with, if you're interested in this kind of stuff, the yield curve. It's kind of expanding a little bit. Had a big move last week, and if they see kind of the same move this week, a little bit more concerning for stocks, as then market would be more worried. Market is worried, not more worried, is worried about inflation. So that is a issue, slight, but issue nonetheless. That the bond market could be telling us something. If you look at the chat box area, there's our levels printed out for you. Thanks, Mark. As we are just kind of hanging around here. Like I said, very quiet trade overnight, not much going on. Kind of, like I said, just kind of wondering where to go next, what's going to happen next, what's the next shoe to drop. A lot of uncertainty right now, so the market is kind of just in a wait and see pattern to see what we're going to go with a few things. Still, the only, I think the overriding factor that the market's hanging down here is the COVID situation, where the numbers just don't seem to be getting any better. And it could be, like they said, that this was like the holiday situation, where people were getting together, and this is like the fallout from it. But it's really bad, so we'll see what happens there. As market just kind of upticks here a little bit against poor resistance up here at the 38 even area. Welcome to some of the new folks that are here. We're trading mini S&Ps. We don't believe markets go straight up or straight down. Consequently, we're looking for those inflection points. The market will give us an opportunity to scalp. Scalp means taking about 2 to 3 points on our trades with a 2 or 3 point stop. All of that is dependent on volatility, of course. We are concerned, thinking about, always wondering what the volatility issue is every day, because we trade off of volatility, right? I mean, that's what traders do. We like volatility. Sometimes a little doesn't sound right, but that's what we like. I mean, more volatility, more opportunity. Gives you a little better shot at making some money. But it's okay. We'll take what the market gives us. That's what we always do, and that's what we say here. Let me see here. So just as an aside here for what I mentioned about the bond market, the bear steepening continues with the Bundesgifts and Treasuries making cyclical lows. If this continues about the steepening of the yield curve, it would mark just the 7th time since 1990 that the 30-year bond yield has risen on 7 consecutive sessions. Only the 7th time since 1990, and it's lower today too. So Like I said, that's starting to be a little bit of a concern to the market. I think if you are a taking in all kind of individual who's understanding what I've been mentioning the bond market with the issue about inflation for a bit. So this is definitely you know a little bit of a concern for the market as far as topping out is concerned. We'll see if that occurs. I'm just pointing that out. That's the scuttlebutt that's going around. I love that word, scuttlebutt. All right, nice rotation there off of our blue band for those of you blue banders who are interested in that kind of stuff. It's also a rotation off of our green band as well. Like I said, it's very quiet. If you did partake in our blue band there, you did okay. It's coming back down here to our pivot. Nice rotation there off of the 96, 97 area. Can we post today's numbers one more time for us? There they are. All right. So again, if you did dive in against our blue band there, you get a nice little rotation. So to follow up on the bond thing, generally bear steepeners will lead to a correction in equities, but I guess the counter argument is the absolute level of real yields. Regardless, I continue to think that risk parity strategy will eventually have to deliver with the expiration Friday, and then maybe next week's business. The dollar looks to have resistance. The dollar, the gold is around 1890. On Thursday, Biden is going to give key elements of his spending plan. So these are all things to kind of keep an eye out for. Okay. Again, that's just something long term to think about. All right, kind of stagnant, coming right around our pivot here, just kind of hanging out. And we're just kind of hanging out around our pivot. So kind of going nowhere fast. Nice rotation. I like the opportunity we had there was a little bit of rotation off of our blue band initially when it came up there. Let's see if there's any numbers coming out this morning. There's a couple of Fed speaks right now that are talking. 9 o'clock, no, nothing. 10 o'clock, Kaplan talks, another Fed speak at 10, two Fed speakers at 10. 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, no. Yeah, 11 o'clock, another Fed speaker. 12 o'clock, another Fed speaker. They are out in force today. They're getting paid for all their hard work at the Fed with speeches. So yeah, there's not really that many, no fundamental news, just some Fed guys talking, which again, is becoming a little bit more interesting in regards to unemployment. I mean, I'm sorry, not unemployment, with the yield on the yield curve steepening, and also, like I said earlier, seventh day in a row that the bonds, 30-year bond has increased in yields, which hasn't happened only 7 times since 1990. So keep that in mind. As we kind of drift a little bit lower here. No, are you kidding? They don't. They don't. They don't hang around with us anymore. Yeah, thing I sent you. You didn't get it? On your phone. They're like, do you like that? I said your California elite friends. All right, range rounds, as you can see, very, very quiet. It's more for your wife anyway. She's the thoughtful one in the family. And so am I too, by the way. I mean, same over here. Like, I would never think of doing all that stuff. All right, just kind of hanging back up here at our pivot, kind of going nowhere fast, as they say in French. Following in the footsteps of Marriott, JP Morgan Chase, and Citicorp, a growing number of big businesses have decided to suspend or review their campaign donations in the wake of last week's Riot at the U.S. Capitol. The storming led to 5 deaths, including one police officer, prompting many C-suite executives to take action. This is widespread anger in the business community that what they see as a challenge against any disruption in the peaceful transition of power or democratic stability in which businesses depend on. Well, that's true. Last thing they need is craziness happening. All right, just kind of drifting back to the lower end of the range. We were just, again, like I said, both sides of the pivot here, so really going nowhere fast. The next support level is down at 86. Little resistance. Well, you had that blue band earlier. Now it's just kind of quiet. No numbers coming out. So just be patient. Kind of wait till the market kind of gives us an opportunity. Equities took a breather on Monday following a rally that took major U.S. indices to record highs on Friday. Though the pullback does not seem to be lasting long, as the market is just a little bit up this morning, but now it's back to the flat line. The market refuses to traffic in everything that's going wrong, instead focusing on what could go right, said Jim Cramer. Oh, nice to see him quoted for once. I haven't seen him quoted for a while. And adding that the positivity on Wall Street could also be seen in a way that numerous individual stocks exchange hands. Social media stocks also plunged on Monday after banning President Trump from platforms. Also seem to be heading back in the green this morning. Sell-off in Bitcoin, which was nearly down 25% at one point, appears to have stabilized around the 36,000 level. Investors have largely ignored last week's attack on the Capitol Democratic moves to impeach the president and countless headlines that flashed market bubble warnings. That means the steepening of the yield curve. Traders are also paying close attention to the forecasts and corporate views of the economy as earnings seasons kicks off this week. Earnings for S&P 500 companies overall expected to jump 24% in 2021, according to data, which includes a strong rebound in sectors like industrials, materials, and financials. That's good to know. All right, we're just kind of maybe drifting a little bit lower, just kind of not knowing what it wants to do. Given the volatile events in Washington, D.C. and the increased risk of harm, we began permanently suspending thousands of accounts that primarily dedicated to sharing QAnon content on Friday afternoon, Twitter confirmed in a blog post. We've been clear that we will take strong enforcement action on behavior that has potential to lead to offline harm. And that was their logic there. Sure, could somebody dump in the levels one more time for us in the chat? Yeah, she puts it all together herself. There are the levels. And she like coordinates it to like special events, baby showers or anniversaries or colleges if you have kids in college, stuff like that. They're having fun with it. I mean, she just started. Let's see. Since Friday, more than 70,000 accounts has been suspended as a result of our efforts, with many instances of single individuals operating numerous accounts. These accounts were engaged in sharing harmful QAnon-associated content at the scale were primarily dedicated to propaganda of this conspiracy theory across the service. That's a continuation of Twitter's statement, citing its coordinating harm policy. Facebook also announced it to remove content containing the phrase "Stop the Steal" from its service in the lead up to President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration on the 20th, and will allow robust conversation related to the election outcome to continue. All right, market drifting down here, coming down here to the 86 area. See what it wants to do down here. Just keep your stop in. Remember, we don't fall in love with any trade that we put on. Just saying. Let's see. Parler has filed a lawsuit against Amazon accusing the tech giant of violating antitrust laws after it suspended web hosting of the free speech microblogging platform. In a complaint filed in federal court on Wednesday in Washington State, Parler said the decision was motivated by political animus and designed to reduce competition to the benefit of Twitter. Parler is asking for an emergency order to reject Amazon shutdown, saying it was equivalent to pulling the plug on a hospital patient on life support, and that will kill Parler's business at the very time it is set to skyrocket. All right, so we're coming down here, drifting a little bit lower than the 86. Obviously, if you have your stop in there, you probably got stopped down. Now just kind of hanging down in here. Next level on the downside we have is the 75 area. Again, very, very quiet and has picked up some steam right now, so happens. Oh, this is a great story here. Elon Musk tweeted 5 days ago that the tech billionaire and avid Twitter user prompted his followers to use Signal, just in quotes, the encrypted messaging app that's funded by nonprofit and is seeing a surge in popularity. A recent policy change in WhatsApp saw that the Facebook unit expanded control over the user data it collects, while Signal has a history of fighting any entity that asks for information and adds features to further um, keep the user uh, from sharing information. So then this is what happened. So there was some confusion and maybe a bit of stock gambling. Traders responded to Musk's tweet by pushing up the stock price of Signal Advance, a small component manufacturer whose stocks trades over the counter and hasn't filed an annual report since 2019. Shares were trading at 60 cents before the big tweet, but quickly climbed to $6.64 over Thursday and Friday. The stock shot up again yesterday to 38.70, resulting in a whopping 6,400% gain. Advance over the 3-day trading days, as well as a market cap of $3 billion. They haven't filed an annual report with the SEC for 2 years, and the stock zooms up 6,400% just because Musk said something. Amazing. Just absolutely amazing. 60-cent stock is trading at $38. And I don't think this is a right company either, right? I think they just made a mistake. Like, what is going on? All right. Well, we snuck down there, popped back up. I went down to 82 there against our 86 area and come flying back up here. Again, just signs of really nothing going on. And, again, if you got out, we get it. Well, there you have it. The old rush to sell. They hit the stops. Once the stops were absorbed and the market said, oops, we're not going down. So they got themselves caught a little bit short, and you get your follow through rally here. So again, it's all a matter of how much how much heat you wanted to take there, and understanding that they did just hit the stops. You know what? I mean, do these people really want to hurt each? I mean, they're gazillionaires. I mean, right? Really. I mean, what's a 10 billion between friends? Right? I mean, come on. Let's not get carried away, but one billionaire wants to bring down the other billionaire. Seriously, these guys, they're in another atmosphere. They're the only ones up there just smelling that air. So we can't understand it. That's for sure. Only you would come up with that analogy there, Don. Love it. I had to take so much heat that I could have cooked a dozen eggs. Only Don could come up with that analogy for the heat that he had to take on the 86 level. That was great. That's a great line. Never thought of that one. I might have to use that one. Might have to steal that one from you. Then again, you've come up with some good ones for us. Well, you get it. It saved you. Yeah, we come up to our pivot there at 93 and backed off a little bit. Again, if you did looking for these price action opportunities, the levels are, I kind of ran through the level, but the blue band there and there. Also, the settlement price kind of worked very nicely for you. All right. Again, things kind of a little quiet, kind of ran through our first level there and just kind of drifting back up here to our pivot. Um, if you were a little aggressive, maybe you sold a pivot there for a little bit of an opportunity. First rotation back to it. Chad, are you in the room? Hi, how are you? Is it all right to give you a call maybe later this morning when around 10ish? Fantastic. Welcome, and I'll give you a call. And we'll see, how we're gonna get going here. Okay, thank you. All right, we've basically come back in our range. Not a surprise. They kind of expanded it just a little. To downside, hit those stops below the overnight low, and then pushed a little bit lower, and then rotated back up. Again, if you different ways of getting in. Maybe you were able to stick with it, maybe not. And if you didn't, you had a chance on the rotation back up here to our pivot there. Maybe take a little bit of a scalp against that uh, our pivot there, and it did rotate off of that nicely. Again, another rotation there off of our settlement price, one of our things that we'd like to look at. All right, very, very quiet. Still not much happening. And we're staying pretty much in the same kind of range what we were at yesterday, and also we are in same within the same range of Friday's um, dominating bar. So we're kind of stuck here in a little quandary, trying to decide what's going to happen next. So again, what they did was they flushed it down. They tried to sell it off. They couldn't do it. Come back up here, bounced off of our pivot a couple times, and now pushing through. We close above 94 here on the next bar, and we'll see if it continues to rally or not. All right, kind of just trying to stay here now above our pivot, see if that happens. If that happens, we might get a little bit of change in bias here and look for a push to the upside. We'll see. Kind of gotta let the market do what it wants to do. Market just not going anywhere. And it has a lot to absorb, right? It has to absorb everything that's going on around it, and it's kind of uh, consolidating here, trying to figure out what it wants to do next. It is getting, this is the first time in a long time that we're actually getting pressure from, or that even people are talking about pressure from the interest rate market or the financial markets. Hmm. Hmm. Thanks for sharing. And FYI, I'm concerned about wind chill here today, so don't worry, we're good. Don't make sure you put some sunscreen on yourself. Don't get yourself, you know. And I will make sure I bundle up, so keep that fresh air out of my face. But then again, I have to go out for me to experience that. All right, now it looks like we want to try to uptick here a little bit. Got to close here above 93 and see what happens. We're not there yet. Very just chopping around market, really not trying to figure out what it wants to do. Okay. Looks like we're going to close here above the 94. So a little bit bullish here. Anything below in 90 area there, you want to be out of any um, longs and coming up here to our even area. That was a quick run up there. Just as I was thinking of getting long there. Didn't even give me a moment to try to contemplate that. Well, I was contemplating it. All right, we're up here against the 38 area. Again, maybe you were able to get along. I don't know, I was thinking about it, but we needed a little confirmation from the market. It just was almost going to give it to us. But if you did get along there, nice little trade. working the even area now. Again, market trying to turn over here just a little bit against our 38 level. Just to consider a time factor here just a little bit. Okay, a little bit of a downtick here again. If you took that time factor consideration, maybe took some profits there against that last little dip down. It again, we do have a time factor that we have to consider once we get into a trade. Again, like I said, we had to consider the time issue there as to how long we were going to stay with the trade, and hopefully we're able to peel some off. All right, we're just, like I said, kind of just hanging, and obviously we were thinking that we were going to turn a little bit bullish. We are out of our trade now against the even, only because we suggested taking some profits there because we were up here for a good 10 minutes and we didn't get any kind of reaction. So I suggested maybe we take some, get out of some. And next level on the upside we have is up at '07. All right, you can see here we popped a little bit up to 01, and then you got your flush down. Those of you who hung in there with it or have your stops situated and leave it alone, then you got filled. We had a pretty good move off of it anyway initially, so maybe you got filled on the upper end and took advantage of that. And now we're just kind of hanging out again. We're a little bit bullish. I would say support right now would be back around the 94 area. Anything below 90, be out of any longs. All right, we're just kind of hanging up here, this new area, kind of maybe flagging a little bit, but maybe not so much because of that little spike. So just kind of hanging out here. Next level on the upside we have is resistance is the 07. Got up to even, kind of hung there for a bit, came back down. and now we're just kind of hanging here. Well, I mean, it's basically the area it trades in that little area. Not little. If you're looking at the 60-minute bar, it does not become little anymore. It looks like the even area on the top side down to the 90 area on the downside. Basically, it's just floating back and forth through that area. You maybe even go up to 04, 05 area. But basically, it's staying in this range, gets above it a little, gets below it a little, comes right back in it. And if you probably extrapolate the volume over the last 2 or 3 days, you'll see that that's where most of the volume has been concentrated. All right, market coming back down here, drifting down here to the 94 area. We said anything, a little support down in here. If anything below 90, though, I'm going to be out of any longs. So kind of see where you want to buy it. And this is too much and too much risk, then adjust your entry point a little bit. We're in the hourly here. So as you can see, kind of that, going back to even Thursday. And then top end would be 05 area. All right, nice little buy there if you were able to get long against the 94 area. We suggested that would be a little support area, a nice little pop up here to 97. Well, maybe some of you were able to take advantage of a little price action opportunity. Patience does prevail. All right, nice little rotation there off of the 94 area. Oh yeah, 2 points. Definitely nice little targets to try to. The key here is not so much it's slow. The key is to wait for the opportunities, and you know, sometimes they'll obviously work and sometimes they won't, but not to just jump in. It's more important to be a little bit patient and wait for something to set up and then try to take advantage of it when it does. That's the hard part because it is so slow. So whether you take a point or two, a point and a half, given the fact that it's slow, that's really not the point. The point is that you are, patient. It's easy to want to trade when there's not much to trade. So instead of saying there's not much to trade, let's just be patient and wait for a trade. You know what I'm saying? Kind of goes again. No, there's no like issue here that you have to take 2 points on a trade like we talked about when the first 80 level, the even level came up. But yeah, They're set at 22 and 23. Yeah, just so that it gives a deeper, brighter line so that I can see it better. That's why it's so close. All right, again, we had a nice little rotation there off of our 94 area. Uh, Maybe even our pivot there, depending on if you waited that long, but we suggested 94 to be a little support, and then nice rotation off of that level. Our even level worked very nicely on the upside, and then of course the 86 level. If you took your um, loss, I get it. If you were able to hang in there with it, it was a nice rotation off of that spike. Either way, hopefully you were able to at least make a little bit of money this morning, given the fact that it's exceptionally slow. Patience these days is very important, and waiting for the market to kind of give you the opportunity to wait for a setup, wait for something that you can recognize, and then obviously once you recognize the trade and the setup, it's how you execute it. But again, it's very important to have some patience and wait for the setup to occur, given how slow the market has been. Um, well, last couple days. Not too bad, Steve. Take care. See you tomorrow. All right, we did dip back down to the pivot area there and bounce back up here again. Nice little rotation there off of the pivot. Again, we said below 90 out of any long. So if you did, partake down there, at least you have your exit strategy lined up. And bond market again continues to downtick here, adding to the concerns of higher interest rates and what it could mean for equities. Again, that is a little bit longer term situation, but the equity market just seems to shrug off most of the bad news. But somewhere along the line, fundamentals and technicals kind of come back into play here a little bit. We'll see how long it's going to take. It is earnings season, so it does add to the the fact that the market is a little bit strong here because earnings are still supposed to come out okay. So we'll see. All right, looks like we're a little bit of a range here. Get above um, 04 area, we might have a run up to the 07. The 90 level on the downside is your exit strategy for any longs. The 93, 94 area here held a couple times for us.